I didn't expect to see red and blue lights flashing off the glass of my new greenhouse that morning. The HOA president, Tamara Aldridge, had actually called 911, said I was trespassing on community property. By the end of the month, she'd forge my name, try to annex my land, and nearly steal everything I'd built with my own hands. It started simple enough. I'd just finished setting the last panel on my greenhouse, a triple-glazed polycarbonate beauty built for year-round tomatoes, when I heard the sharp click of heels coming up my gravel drive. Tamara, clipboard in hand, sunglasses, the kind of authority walk that screams, "I own this neighborhood." She jabbed her pen toward the greenhouse like she was writing me a ticket. You can't build that. Article 37 prohibits unsanctioned outbuildings without HOA review. I wiped my hands on my jeans. "Morning to you too, Tamara. My property's not in the HOA. I've told you 3 times. She blinked, offended. "That's impossible. All homes in Willow Creek are under the HOA. I pointed down the drive. "Line ends at the storm drain. County records are public. Look it up." Her nostrils flared, her lips tightened. "You'll be hearing from the board. I'll look forward to the fruit basket," I said, turning back to my tools. 2 days later, the sirens came. Tamara was standing smug beside a deputy sheriff, arms crossed. "He's violating multiple codes," she said, like she was ordering my arrest. The deputy looked at me, then at her. "Ma'am, this parcel's county land. HOA rules don't apply here." Tamara's face went red, redder than her lipstick. "But he's building a structure. It's an eyesore, not a crime," the deputy said dryly. "Greenhouses are allowed under county code. Next time you call 911 over a civil issue, we'll have a different kind of conversation." I almost felt bad for her, almost. When the patrol car left, I turned to my tomato seedlings and whispered, "Looks like we're officially open for business, boys." But Tamara wasn't done, not even close. The rain started that night, thick orange mud everywhere. My phone buzzed around 9 p.m. "This is Officer Delaney, County Code Enforcement. We got a complaint about an illegal utility hookup." I stared at the generator I'd just bought. It wasn't even wired yet. But I told him, sure, come by in the morning. He showed up in the rain clipboard under one arm, water dripping off his poncho. "Check the generator." "Not hooked up," he muttered. "Nope," I said. He jotted a few notes, looked toward the greenhouse, stepped inside, admired the rigging. "Nice work," he said. Then outside again. "Nothing illegal here, Mr. Hayfield. But I'll tell you 7 complaints in 4 days. That's a record." "Let me guess," I said. He just nodded. That was when I started keeping video. Cameras on the eaves, motion sensors, backups to the cloud. Because I could feel it coming, something bigger. A few days later, I found a certified letter in my mailbox. A notice of violation from the Willow Creek Architectural Committee. Addressed not to me, but to Gregory H. Field. Same street number, close enough to confuse or fake. Inside it accused me of failure to submit detailed plans and gave a 30-day compliance order. My stomach sank. Tamara had created a paper trail. Next morning, I went straight to the county records office. The clerk, Dana, kind eyes behind big round glasses, pulled up my parcel. "You're right. Lot 79 registered to Graham Hayfield, not under HOA. "Any new filings?" I asked. She frowned. "Actually, yes. A pending amendment filed last week. Requests reassignment of your parcel into the HOA." My throat tightened. "Who signed it?" She turned her screen. Gregory H. Field. The signature was a shaky copy of my own. The notary seal, fake. "Who submitted this?" "Filed in person," she said quietly. "Name listed is Tamara Aldridge." That was the first moment I truly felt the floor drop out. My jaw clenched so hard it hurt. Dana said, "That's felony-level fraud. You want to press charges?" "Absolutely." By noon, I'd filed a criminal complaint. By evening, I'd added 2 more cameras around my property. 3 days passed. Then at dawn, I heard metal scraping pavement. I looked out the window. Some landscaper's trailer had blocked my driveway. 2 men unloading sod and wooden stakes. "What the hell's this?" HOA Work Order 1 said, holding out a clipboard. "Buffer fencing and compliant lawn cover." Signed by Gregory H. Field. I took the clipboard. That's a forged signature. "Stop everything. You've been conned." They looked at each other, uneasy. I called the sheriff. Deputy Hollis arrived fast, young, calm, efficient. I explained, showed her the order, the fake name. She called it in, then told the crew, pack it up. You've been misled. 10 minutes later, they were gone. Hollis turned back to me. Looks like someone's doubling down. Already filed a fraud complaint, I said. Good. Keep your cameras running. I did. And that night I realized something. If I didn't fight this all the way, she'd just move on to the next person. Detective Maroro called the next morning. We've confirmed the notary seal was stolen in Nevada. We're issuing a summons for Miss Aldridge. It's a felony. I hung up and sat at my kitchen table for a long time. I wanted to feel relief, but instead, I just felt tired. Weeks of accusations, police lights, paperwork. There was a moment I stared at the greenhouse outside, rain sliding off its panels, and thought, maybe I should have just joined the damn HOA. Maybe it was my fault for pushing back. Maybe keeping quiet would have been easier. But then I saw the forged signature again, the lazy curve of a letter that was supposed to be mine, and something snapped back into place. No, you don't let bullies rewrite your life. My cousin Elise, a land use attorney, called that night. Sounds like she's trying to corner you into giving up, she said. Don't. We'll formalize your HOA exemption and lock down your parcel record. Can she really get away with this, I asked. Not if we hit first. And we did. A week later, unmarked county vehicles rolled into Willow Creek. I was out on my porch when Detective Maroro himself knocked on Tamara's door. She looked thinner, pale, nervous. He showed her a folder. Her arm dropped from the doorframe. She tried to speak, but no sound came out. Then they stepped inside, and a minute later, boxes started coming out. Files, binders, yellow envelopes. Elise called me. You're not going to believe this. She's been forging documents for years. Fake architectural approvals, fake fines, fake signatures from dead board members. I leaned against my fence watching the officers carry her empire out one box at a time. Guess she finally met someone who reads the county code, I said. Tamara was indicted the next day. Evidence tampering, falsifying public records, attempted property theft. The HOA went into panic mode. Then came the knock on my door, a man in a gray blazer briefcase in hand. Mr. Hayfield. I'm Mark Ralston, interim legal counsel for the Willow Creek HOA. The new board would like to make things right. They're holding a special meeting Saturday. You're invited. I raised an eyebrow. Why me? Because your name's in every case file, and your footage will be central in court. Saturday came bright and clear. The community hall was packed, neighbors standing shoulder to shoulder, murmuring. Ralston opened with a statement. We acknowledge acts of fraudulent governance and unauthorized enforcement under former President Tamara Aldridge. Then he asked me to speak. I walked to the front, looked at the crowd, and said I didn't ask to fight anyone. I just wanted to grow tomatoes. But when someone tries to rewrite the rules around you, when they weaponize a system meant to protect you, don't just let it happen. You stand up and you stop it. The room went silent. Then applause, slow, steady building. Not loud, just right. That was the moment the fear broke. Within weeks, Tamara was arrested again, this time on multiple counts: wire fraud, mail fraud, racketeering. Investigators found over 100 fake notices, forged maps, and $70,000 in personal checks marked as HOA fines. The state opened an audit of every HOA in the county. 30 of them failed in the first month. Elise got hired by the Attorney General's office to rewrite HOA oversight policy. I got a letter from the state thanking me for my documentation. And I went back to my greenhouse. The tomatoes were coming in thick, the air inside warm and damp. I added a new weather station sensors logging every drop of rain. My cameras stayed on, not out of fear anymore, but principle. Evidence, accountability, truth. One evening, Carl, the old neighbor who'd moved away after Tamara fined him for his non-neutral chimney color, came back. He stood beside me, hands on his hips, watching the sunset over the glass panels. You did all right, Graham, he said. You turned the whole thing around. I smiled. I just wanted to grow some tomatoes. He chuckled. Yeah. And you ended up plowing the whole damn field. The crickets started up, the porch lights came on down the street, and for the first time in months, the neighborhood felt alive again. Some battles you don't pick, but when someone tries to take your ground, you stand your ground. because silence is how power wins.